Have you ever imagined a ragtag group of colonists defying the world's greatest empire, fighting tooth and nail for freedom, and winning against all odds? But what sparked this audacious rebellion that birthed a nation? Tensions boiled over with taxes and tyranny from King George III. Why did ordinary farmers pick up arms against professional armies? In 1775, shots at Lexington and Concord ignited the fuse. The shot heard round the world. Then, in 1776, the bold Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, but at what cost? George Washington took command of the Continental Army. A surprise attack on Hessian forces at Trenton. Talk about a Christmas miracle. Could this underdog general outsmart the British? Men froze, deserted, yet they emerged unbreakable. The turning point, Saratoga in 1777. British General Burgoyne surrendered, his gentleman's army humbled by backward sharpshooters. What alliances shifted the war? France joined the fray, tipping the scales with navy and troops. Southern campaigns turned savage. Hit-and-run tactics bled the empire dry. How did it all end at Yorktown in 1781? Cornwallis played sick to avoid surrender. Cowardly much? The Treaty of Paris in 1783 sealed independence. From 1776 to 1783, a revolution reshaped the world. Liberty's flame ignited. Was this destiny or sheer grit? What if the colonists had lost? Let's rewind. The Stamp Act, the Townshend Acts, it felt like London saw the colonies as a piggy bank to smash open. When they passed the Tea Act, Boston had a little party of its own, turning the harbour into the world's largest cup of tea. King George was not amused. He sent more troops, closed the port, and essentially put Boston on lockdown. This wasn't just about taxes anymore. It was about control. And so, the First Continental Congress met in Philadelphia. Picture this: 56 delegates from 12 colonies, many meeting for the first time. They were lawyers, merchants, and farmers, men like John Adams and Patrick Henry, who famously declared, "Give me liberty or give me death." They weren't calling for war just yet, but they were drawing a line in the sand. They sent a polite but firm list of grievances to the king. His response? More soldiers. The stage was set for a showdown. Then came that fateful night in April 1775. The British marched out of Boston to seize colonial military supplies at Concord. But they weren't exactly stealthy. A network of spies, including the legendary Paul Revere, raced ahead to sound the alarm. At Lexington Green, a small band of local militiamen stood their ground. Someone fired a shot, nobody knows who, and the American Revolution began. The British pushed onto Concord, only to find the supplies gone. On their march back to Boston, they were ambushed from every rock and tree. What started as a show of force turned into a bloody retreat. News of the battle spread like wildfire. Thousands of militiamen from all over New England flocked to Boston, trapping the British Army inside the city. Just 2 months later came the Battle of Bunker Hill. The colonists fortified a hill overlooking the city. The British charged up that hill 3 times. The colonists, low on ammunition, were told, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes." They inflicted devastating casualties before being forced to retreat. They lost the hill, but they won a massive psychological victory. They proved they could stand up to the best army in the world. While the cannons roared, a war of words raged in Philadelphia. Thomas Jefferson, a quiet Virginian, was tasked with drafting a declaration. Drawing on Enlightenment ideas, he penned some of the most powerful words in history: "All men are created equal." On July 4, 1776, the Second Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence. There was no turning back. Signing it was an act of treason, punishable by death. Benjamin Franklin supposedly quipped, "We must, indeed, all hang together, or, most assuredly, we shall all hang separately." But declaring independence is one thing, winning it is another. Washington's Continental Army was a mess. They were poorly trained, poorly fed, and constantly on the run. They lost New York City in a series of disastrous battles. By winter, morale was at rock bottom. That's what made his next move so brilliant. On Christmas night, 1776, Washington led his freezing army across the icy Delaware River for a surprise attack on Trenton. They caught the Hessian mercenaries completely off guard. It was a stunning victory that saved the revolution from collapsing. The war wasn't just fought on the battlefield. It was a world war. Benjamin Franklin, a rock star diplomat in Paris, charmed the French into an alliance. A young, idealistic French aristocrat, the Marquis de Lafayette, sailed to America to volunteer. He became like a son to Washington. French fashion meets frontier fighting. Their support, money, ships, and soldiers was a game changer. Meanwhile, spies were everywhere. Washington's Culper Ring in New York used secret codes and invisible ink to feed him critical intelligence, preventing ambushes and even foiling an assassination plot. The war then moved south, where it became brutal and personal. British strategy was to rally loyalist support, but it backfired. Generals like Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox, waged a guerrilla campaign, striking from the marshes and disappearing without a trace. This wasn't the orderly warfare the British were used to. It was a nasty, exhausting fight that drained their resources and their will. Finally, in 1781, the pieces came together at Yorktown, Virginia. British General Cornwallis had marched his army onto a peninsula, expecting to be resupplied by the Royal Navy. Big mistake. The French fleet blockaded the coast, trapping him. Washington and his French allies marched south and laid siege to the town. For weeks, they bombarded the British relentlessly. With no escape and no hope of rescue, Cornwallis surrendered his entire army. The fighting was essentially over. The world was turned upside down. It took 2 more years to sign the Treaty of Paris, officially recognizing the United States of America as an independent nation. The ragtag group of colonists had done the impossible. They had faced down an empire and won. Their victory was a testament to their incredible resilience, their brilliant leadership, and their unshakable belief in the cause of liberty. A new nation, conceived in liberty, was born. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the past, make sure to like and subscribe for more.
Like the video and subscribe to the channel.